Memory loss and brain fog after 50. The hidden reasons you're forgetting more than you should have. You ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went there? Have you ever searched for your glasses only to discover they were sitting on top of your head the entire time? Or maybe you found yourself struggling to remember names, appointments, or simple words that used to come naturally. If so, you're not alone. But here's what might surprise you. Many people over 50 assume these moments are just a normal part of getting older. They tell themselves, "I'm getting older. My memory isn't what it used to be. I guess this is just aging." But what if that isn't the whole story? What if many of the memory problems people experience after 50 aren't actually caused by aging itself? What if your brain has been sending warning signs for years and nobody ever explained what those signs really mean? Today, we're going to uncover the truth. Most importantly, you'll learn why memory loss is not always an unavoidable part of aging. In many cases, the brain remains capable of adapting, learning, and creating new connections well into later life. Researchers call this neuroplasticity, and understanding it could completely change the way you think about your future brain health. By the end of today's video, you'll have a much clearer understanding of what may be contributing to memory problems after 50, what warning signs deserve attention, and what practical steps may help support a sharper, healthier mind as you age. And make sure you stay with us until the end, because one of the most overlooked causes of brain fog is something millions of people experience every single day without realizing it could be affecting their memory. Before we begin, tell us your age and where you're watching from in the comments below. We love hearing from our viewers, and we read as many comments as possible. Now, let's get started. Maybe you found yourself struggling to remember names, appointments, or simple words that used to come naturally. If so, you're not alone. But here's what might surprise you. Many people over 50 assume these moments are just a normal part of getting older. They tell themselves, "I'm getting older. My memory isn't what it used to be. I guess this is just aging." But what if that isn't the whole story? What if many of the memory problems people experience after 50 aren't actually caused by aging itself? What if your brain has been sending warning signs for years and nobody ever explained what those signs really mean? Today, we're going to uncover the truth, and I need you to stay with me until the end because one of the causes we'll discuss is affecting millions of adults right now. Yet most doctors never mention it during routine checkups. In fact, researchers have discovered that certain memory problems can begin years before people realize what's happening. Not because they're developing dementia, not because they're losing intelligence, but because their brains are being deprived of the nutrients, blood flow, sleep quality, and stimulation they desperately need. The good news? Many of these changes may be reversible, and that's exactly what this series is about. This is part 1 of our special series on memory loss and brain fog after 50. Today, we'll explore the hidden reasons your memory may not feel as sharp as it once did. In part 2, we'll reveal practical strategies that may help support memory, focus, and mental clarity naturally. Before we begin, tell us in the comments, how old are you? And have you noticed any memory changes in the last few years? We're reading every comment and would love to hear your experience. Now let's begin. First, let's talk about something that scares almost everyone, the fear of dementia. For many adults over 50, every forgotten name feels like a warning sign. Every misplaced item feels alarming. Every mental blank moment creates anxiety. But here's something neurologists want people to understand. Occasional forgetfulness is not automatically dementia. In fact, stress, poor sleep, nutritional deficiencies, dehydration, medication side effects, and even loneliness can produce symptoms that feel remarkably similar to early cognitive decline. The problem is that many people panic before understanding the difference. Imagine your brain as a high-performance engine. If you stop changing the oil, neglect maintenance, and use poor quality fuel, that engine won't perform properly. That doesn't mean the engine is permanently damaged. It means it needs support. Your brain works in a very similar way, and one of the biggest hidden threats is something most people overlook every day: sleep. Scientists now consider sleep one of the most important brain protection tools available. While you're sleeping, your brain performs a deep cleaning process. Researchers often compare it to a nightly housekeeping service. Waste products accumulated during the day are flushed away. Connections between brain cells are strengthened. Memories are organized and stored. Information moves from short-term memory into long-term storage. But when sleep becomes fragmented, that entire process suffers. Many adults over 50 wake up multiple times during the night. Some struggle with sleep apnea. Others wake up to use the bathroom. Some spend hours tossing and turning. The next morning, they don't just feel tired. Their brains are functioning functioning on reduced capacity. They become forgetful, distracted, mentally sluggish, and over time, those effects can accumulate. Another surprising contributor is chronic stress. Most people think stress only affects emotions, but stress has a direct impact on memory. When stress hormones remain elevated for long periods, areas of the brain involved in learning and memory can become less efficient. Think about the last time you felt overwhelmed. Did you find it harder to concentrate? Did simple tasks seem more difficult? That's not your imagination. Your brain's resources were being redirected toward survival rather than memory formation. The modern world constantly bombards us with stress, financial concerns, health worries, family responsibilities, news headlines, technology notifications. All of these factors create a mental environment that makes remembering things more difficult. Then there's another issue that's becoming increasingly common: brain fog. Many people describe brain fog as feeling mentally cloudy. You know what you want to say. The information feels like it's there, but you can't quite reach it. Words disappear mid-sentence. Concentration becomes difficult. Decision-making feels exhausting. Brain fog isn't a medical diagnosis itself. It's a symptom, and it often points toward an underlying problem. Poor sleep, chronic inflammation, nutritional deficiencies, blood sugar instability, lack of physical activity, or even certain medications. Which brings us to another important topic: medications. Many commonly prescribed medications can affect memory and concentration. That doesn't mean you should stop taking them. Never make medication changes without speaking with your healthcare provider. However, it's important to understand that some medications list confusion, forgetfulness, or mental slowing among their potential side effects. This is why discussing cognitive changes with your doctor is so important. Sometimes the solution may be simpler than people realize. Now let's talk about one of the most overlooked factors of all: dehydration. Your brain is approximately 75% water. Even mild dehydration can impair concentration, attention, and short-term memory. Unfortunately, many older adults drink less water than they need. Some avoid fluids because they're concerned about frequent bathroom trips. Others simply don't feel thirsty. The result is a brain that isn't operating at peak performance. Researchers have repeatedly shown that proper hydration supports attention, memory, and mental processing speed. Something as simple as increasing water intake can sometimes produce noticeable improvements. But we're not done yet. There's another major factor that deserves attention: physical inactivity. Many people think exercise only benefits muscles and the heart. But your brain depends on movement too. Every time you walk, your circulation improves. Blood carries oxygen and nutrients to brain cells. Growth factors are released that support brain health. Connections between neurons become stronger. Studies consistently show that physically active adults tend to maintain better cognitive function as they age. The brain was designed to work with the body. When one slows down, the other often follows. And then there's social isolation. This topic doesn't receive nearly enough attention. Humans are social beings. Meaningful conversations challenge the brain. Relationships stimulate memory. Social interaction activates multiple cognitive systems simultaneously. Unfortunately, loneliness has become increasingly common among older adults. Researchers now consider chronic loneliness a significant risk factor for cognitive decline. The brain thrives on engagement. It needs stimulation, conversation, connection, purpose. Without these things, mental sharpness often begins to fade. But perhaps the most shocking factor of all is nutrition. Many people are unknowingly starving their brains of critical nutrients: vitamin B12, omega-3 fatty acids, magnesium, vitamin D. These nutrients play important roles in brain function. Deficiencies may contribute to memory difficulties, fatigue, and brain fog. And because some deficiencies develop slowly over years, people often mistake the symptoms for normal aging. This is one reason why proper nutrition becomes increasingly important after 50. Your brain remains remarkably active throughout your life, but it needs the right building blocks. Now here's the encouraging news. The brain possesses an incredible ability called neuroplasticity. For decades, scientists believed the aging brain couldn't change much. Today, we know that's not true. Your brain continues adapting throughout life. It can form new connections, strengthen existing pathways, and respond positively to healthy lifestyle changes. That means memory challenges do not automatically mean your best years are behind you. Far from it. The actions you take today may have a powerful impact on how your brain functions tomorrow. And that's exactly why this conversation matters. In part 2, we're going to reveal practical, science-backed habits that may help support memory, improve focus, reduce brain fog, and keep your mind sharper as you age. Some of them are surprisingly simple. Others may completely change the way you think about brain health. So make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on. You won't want to miss what's coming next. And now, we want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced brain fog or memory lapses that worried you? What symptom concerns you the most? Forgetfulness? Mental fatigue? Difficulty concentrating? Or something else? Share your experience in the comments below. Your story might help someone else realize they're not alone. Thank you for watching. And remember, growing older is inevitable. Losing hope is not. We'll see you in part 2. Link in description.